19, and it would not be right for people who elect not to wear their mask to endanger others who are in compliance. Please ensure, if you want to sit in this room, that you wear your mask. If you are not wearing one, you'll be asked to leave the panel. Yes. Yes. Have you done that? Yes, Mr. Brooks.
Yes, my Lord, we are grateful, sir. The petitioner, I think, you remember you are still on oath.
You say what?
I say you are still on oath. You remember?
Yes.
Yes, okay. I suggest to you, you have right to disagree or agree. I suggest to the matter, the issue, which you reported, was emanated and you wrote petition to this panel, emanated for a traffic issue between you and the purported Ayo.
No.
You have answered. You don't need to bother.
Yes.
Yes. You can see the collect during your evidence in chief that the said Ayo alleged that you hit his motorcycle behind during the evidence in chief. That was where and how the matter started.
You said what? I can't hear you.
That you are in your evidence in chief, you told this honorable panel that Ayo alleged you hit his motorcycle behind.
I told you that.
You said you told this panel.
What I told the panel is that I'm in the front and the tricycle is running in my front, and Ayo is in mufti on motorcycle. He banged my car. He banged my car back. He said, can't you move? I said, can't you see your front? And what he told me that, who are you talking to? I said, who are you? That's what I said. So don't turn anything down.
It was as a result of that that the issue, the purported issue between you and Ayo started. It was a result of that way you were another traffic. You said tricycle was turning. Then Ayo now came and banged your car. It was a result of that the issue between you and Ayo started.
They were on patrol. They go and read. Listen.
Please don't tell me listen. I've asked you a question. Tell this panel that it was a result of that the issue between you and Ayo started.
Listen to me.
Oh my God. Answer the question. You can say yes or no.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
please let the witness understand the question and answer appropriately.
Yes, I'll ask you. I suggest to you it was as a result of where a tricycle was turning. Ayo came and banged your car behind.
Yes.
That was where the matter started between you and Ayo.
Yes.
That's what I'm asking you. You told this horrible panel that the said Ayo, you can identify him very well.
You know what happened is that I know him on that night, and I know him when we go to AIG. But I don't, as at now, since then, I don't know, I don't meet him again.
You can easily identify. You saw him the night, daytime, you saw him. You can equally identify him at any time if you see him.
Not quite all right, because I know, what I just know is that we went together to the AIG office, not another person. We went together, and I learned that he has a second wife who is selling market inside K2 garage, very close to the police station.
Okay. You have, as you said, you have seen him when you got, according to what you said, he was at AIG, when you people met at AIG. Can you say he was fair in complexion, or he was dark in complexion?
He's black.
Black in complexion.
Yes.
Well, that will be all for this witness.
Is that your case? Mr. Fuhutade,
Ma.
you are the only one testifying in your case. You don't have any witness.
I have my brother that is here with me.
He will be giving evidence in support of your case.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma.
And he's here today.
He's here, ma.
You need to vacate the witness seat so the next witness can come over.
Me, ma.
You need to leave.
Yes, ma.
Christian? Hi. Balogun Oluwaseun. I hereby caution. If I tell a lie before this tribunal, or wrongfully mislead the tribunal, willfully mislead the tribunal, I am likely to be prosecuted. And if I'm found guilty, I'll be seriously dealt with according to the law. I, Balogun Oluwaseun, I swear by Almighty God, the evidence I shall give before this tribunal will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Yes. Would the witness please state his names, full names?
Thank you, Your Honorable Panel. My names are Balogun Oluwaseun.
Yes.
I'm a brother to the victim.
Yes.
And according to the information at hand, with all the evidences gathered before the Honorable Panels, they were all true. I could only add to add one or two things as regards the searching for the name of the hire. I visited along with my brother while we visited the Zone 2 command.
Yeah.
Which I spotted the man in question, the hire. So I know him if I see him. And in addition, is really, I will use the word, a popular jingle in K2, which by evidence, he has have a link within the K2 garage closer to the station. At least there are times, couple of times, whereby if I'm actually trying to board the bus in the garage, I sighted him in there, so I know he is. Even for some time, I spotted him around the CMD road, I guess, while he was actually even picking Okada for his normal dues, whatever it's being told to do. So it's a confirmed case that I know of whom he is in person, Your Honor.
Any more?
Other thing I would like to add is I've said about the evidence as regards what we have gathered together. Then regarding the visit to the Zone 2, as regards the way my uncle has actually explained was what happened. So a request for the outcome of the panel that was set in March 12 actually brought up the issue to come to this level. Because if justice was been served as at that March 12 panel, which was set up, we wouldn't have come this far. And the DPO as at then, which is Mr. Apan, would not, I would like to say this, would not deny that he couldn't recognize the IO in person.
Yes.
I'm okay with it. Any question or whatever, I'm okay for now.
We are done with your evidence.
Yes, because majorly the fact of what we have has been struck, so.
I recorded you as saying you adopt the evidence of the petitioner. That was what I understood you as saying. That
Yes,
you adopt all the petitioner has said.
Yes, yes, yes.
Very well. Mr. Ebrosemer.
Witness,
Yeah.
that particular day, at the incident, I suggest to you you were not present.
Of course, I was not there. And if I was not there, his wife was with him. So. Remember, you said at the spot of that incident.
You have answered.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. You know, the premise that not that all what you have just adopted is an information given to you by your brother.
Yes, information given from him, and as at that
So
night.
you have answered.
Yes, information from him as at that night.
Yes.
Yes, you are not told a party that you knew Ayo very well.
After the incident.
After this incident.
Yes.
That means you can identify Ayo at any day, at any time.
Anytime, yes.
Yes.
Witness, if you are given opportunity by this horrible panel, can you identify Ayo
I will.
in the mix?
Yes, I will.
Yes, sorry, sir. Can you describe how he looked like? He's tall, he's short,
Okay.
fair, or is dark in complexion?
First of all, I will qualify him like an officer who looks rough and rugged, dark in complexion, with the dark lips. When I said rough, I won't hide it. If it's appearing, we can see the evidence. So it's dark, and even with the look of his lips, so dark.
Yes.
Yes. If we seek the leave of this horrible panel for you to identify Ayo, can you do that?
If I look around,
Yes. In this gathering.
Your Honor, if I may say to that, I think the panel has summoned them to produce the IO. Make it available, let me see if you have it here. If it's not, I will say it is not.
I have not even seek the leave of the court. I only ask you if we seek the leave and if this horrible panel permit us, whether you can identify Ayo in this gathering.
Then if the honorable panel would allow me to do that, I will do it.
Are you suggesting that he will be walking around?
Well, I just, it's a question you have to answer. My Lord, that is all for this witness.
Thank you very much. Thank you, witness.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. God bless you.
Step out of the witness. Mr. Johnson, are you calling evidence?
Yes, we are calling the Ayo Dudu.
No, not you. Go back to me.
No, you have finished your matter. Ayo Dudu. Cover, mask. Good.
Hi. Ayodele Odudu. Hi, Inspector Ayodele Odudu. Inspector Ayodele Odudu. Hereby caution that if I tell her in this testing, in my testimony, before this tribunal or mislead the tribunal, I am likely to be prosecuted or if I find guilty, be seriously dealt with accordingly. I, Inspector Ayodele Odudu, swear by the Almighty God that the evidence I shall give before this tribunal shall be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Yes.
Ayo, tell your full name.
My name is Ayodele Odudu.
Yes. Your AP number and rank.
AP number 226087. Inspector Ayodele Odudu.
Can you please tell this honorable panel your GSM number?
My GSM number are is 080 23 60 1415 and is 080 67 48 7701.
Presently attached to where?
I'm attached to Zone 2 headquarters, Onikan, Lagos.
Now you just told this panel you attached presently attached to Zone 2. When were you enlisted? Take it gently. When were you enlisted to Nigeria Police Force?
I was enlisted into Nigeria Police 1st June 2001.
Yes, you say you were enlisted to Nigeria Police Force 1st June 2001. When you pass, tell this panel where you have served to this present office.
I was trained in police training school, Elayele, Ibadan. I was posted to Lagos State Command, 2002. My first decision was...
Take it to the panel can record it.
Okay.
You were posted to Lagos, yes?
Lagos State Command, 2002. My first division was Elere Division.
Yes, from Elere?
From Elere, I was transferred to Dokbemu Division when it was created, 2003. From Elere, I was transferred to Ojudu Police Station, that's grammar school.
Can you remember the year?
It should be around 2004, 2005, precisely.
Yes, for Dukwemu.
From Dokbemu, I was transferred to SIB Lagos State Command.
Can you remember the year?
2006.
Yes, from SIB to where?
From there, I was transferred to Abia State, 2009. First reorganization, 2009. Yes, I was transferred to Abuja, first Sekota, anti-pipeline vandalization, in 2012. I was removed from pipeline 2015 to Zone 2 Onikan, Lagos, in December 2015. That's where anti-servitude did.
Check the signal. Yes, you told this honorable panel how you're dealing with
Yes, sir.
Then you have your ID card, the national ID card for that?
Yes, sir.
If you see your photocopy of your ID card bearing your do and the national ID card, can you identify?
Yes, sir. That's my ID card. National ID card.
So we seek to tender that the temporary national ID card and the police ID card. You don't have a lawyer.
The application made for a summon to issue to Olumide Jones, who sent an email to the panel to come and testify in respect of this petition, is hereby declined. We cannot see the relevance to issues in the petition. The application is refused and dismissed. Yes? Any more?
For the respondents.
What is the position with Mrs. Badmus and other people mentioned in the petition? We issued a summons to Mrs. Badmus.
Yeah, sir, I'm not aware of that. He only mentioned Badmus, but I don't ask for a summon on Badmus. He said it was Badmus, and we were trying to make contact to Badmus. Our phone is not reachable. It's not reachable. We have we went to the office we have worked before. They told us that it's not presently, it's probably presently at Abuja or so.
Yes, and
Yes,
it's impossible for you to send any message to her in Abuja. Let me get the feedback from the Secretariat. Was the summons served on Mrs. Badmus?
The summons was served at Abuja on the 3rd Badmus. Currently, the IG says PRO. We have the provost that knowledge. We got the right address and we to her was received accordingly. In fact, twice now. Twice. So, there's really no reason why the third Badmus should not be before this panel today. We've done everything within our capacity to ensure our attendance before this panel.
Bluetooth disconnected.
Yes,
If I may make this a humble application, the idea, with all due respect, is to ensure that everybody respects the order of this honorable court. Therefore, subject to my Lord's ruling, the third Badmus, we'll give them another summons today. We serve that same Badmus through our very respected police officers.
You serve on them.
As the company, as the panel. So we will ensure that by the next day, the third Badmus appears before this.
My Lord, sir, we don't have the logistic to do that.
You don't have emails. You cannot reach her by email.
My Lord, sir, this Badmus we are mentioning, or the petitioner really mentioned Badmus, sir. I think is on him to do all the necessary things to make sure if actually Badmus to be here. We have said it. He said, in the last adjournment, he told this panel that he have contact with Badmus. That is what the petitioner said. He told this panel that he have contact with Badmus. I think it's incumbent on him to call her to come before this panel, sir. The one that the court directed me to do, within my capacity, I've done it. And that is why the Ayo Dele Dudu appeared before this panel this morning, sir. He is the one that mentioned Badmus.
May I speak, please?
Yes.
Sir, sorry, sir. The petitioner had told this panel that he do call. I think he says they are friends. That is the language he used. That is the language he used. Say they are friends. He do call. So I think he's in position to call Badmus so that he appear before this panel. Is the witness? He has to assemble his witness. You are grateful, sir.
Yes, Mr. Edison.
I think my learned friend, by his submissions, makes very great allegations of incompetence against the Nigerian police, without saying so. If my learned friend could bring before this panel signals by which an individual was posted all over the Federation, and a witness is alleged to be in Abuja, it does not lie in the mouth of anyone to come and say they are not able to bring that person. I would urge that the witness summons be issued, my learned friend be encouraged to use the police channels, which are highly effective when it's meant to be, to ensure that Ms. Badmus is presented before this and every other person, in order that whatever truly happened to Mr. Owotade can be unraveled and appropriate recommendations, if any, be made. I'm grateful.
Thank you very much.
I don't like joining issues with counsel, especially a very senior advocate using the language incompetence. There is no issue of incompetence as far as this matter is concerned. The sooner this panel served to me, to the Ayo Dele Dudu, was served on him, and he came this morning. I am not aware, I've never made mention of Badmus as far as this panel is concerned. I've never made it was the petitioner that mentioned Badmus, and I am not aware. He told this panel that he had contact with Badmus. Issue of incompetency, I'm afraid I should withdraw that language. Sir. And the thing is, you should not allow issue of a personal issue on this matter, sir. Yes, my lord, sir.
There will be no issue of withdrawing any.
I never said my learned friend is incompetent.
I'm not talking. You say Nigeria police force.
Alleging, without saying so, that the Nigeria police is incompetent. Yeah. And that is a statement of, is a construction of what he said. If an organization like the Nigeria police, a police lawyer who is serving, comes here to say we are not able to serve, that's basically what he's saying. And I'm sure that's not what he intends to say.
I will
not hear anymore on this issue. I will not hear anymore on this issue. Petitioner, I see you've been raising your hand. Yes. You are not going into the box.
Hello, ma. Please, ma. The police lawyer said that I have contact with Badmus. It is Badmus that collect my phone, my number from Keto police station. I don't know him from anywhere.
Is it male or female?
Female. Yellow woman. I know her very well. And his PPRO then. He invited me to your office and asked me what happened. I explained to him. And he told me later that he will call me because the IG have interest in the case. I said, okay, ma. And later, about 5 days, he called me on Tuesday. On Friday, she called me again that AIG wanted to see me. They have interest in that case. And I go there on that time that he gave me. And we all together with Akpan, the IPO in charge of that case, the Ayo, and the one that told me, they are four, they have come from Keto police station. And the IPO. And we went to AIG upstairs. And AIG see the condition that I was. And he said, how will you do somebody like this? You want a panel to be set up on this case. And he wants it in the next 2 weeks to return to his table.
Thank you very much. We've heard all of that in your evidence. Thank you. A fresh summons shall issue to Mrs. Badmus, a woman police now serving at the provost office attached to the Inspector General in Abuja. The said summons shall be served through Mr. Igbosomeren, counsel for the respondent appearing for the police. Yes.
I have entered to this honorable panel that is our case.
Mr. Igbosomeren, you do, pardon my pronunciation.
Yes, sir.
You cannot decide to close your case when the panel has summoned a witness to appear before it. It is total disrespect
So we are sorry,
to
sir,
the panel.
We are sorry, sir. We are sorry. Very, very sorry, sir. We are very sorry, sir.
Are you saying that you will encourage the witness not to appear before this panel?
Never, sir. Never, sir.
Then please follow
Never.
the court's order. Ensure that the summons is served as ordered by the panel.
We will do, sir. We will do that, sir. We will do that, sir.
Registrar, can you give me this? 15th. How do we stand? It's still okay. In the circumstance, further hearing in this petition is hereby adjourned to 15 January 2021.
Petition number LASD JPI 28/2020. David Fadile, Nigeria Police Force. David Fadile, Nigeria Police Force.
Yes, petitioner is not here.
Profound respect, my Lord. J.I. Ebosereme. With me and my learned friends, Eze Emmanuel and Julio Hodonusa for the respondents.
Very respectfully, Jonathan Ogunsoya for the panel.
Yes.
I'm very pleased to find out. IJOKK of the MBA.
Yes.
The distinguished chairperson and honorable members of the panel, I think this is the matter, this matter is truly ripe for my lord to strike it out. Today makes about the fourth time it's coming up before this honorable court, at the honorable panel. And the petitioner is fully aware of the matter. There is time, the sittings of this honorable tribunal is time bound. And we know the enormity of what is on our hands, not only in Lagos State, but in Nigeria, that there are so many matters that this honorable court has to decide. I therefore most respectfully, the petitioner is a counsel, is a lawyer. I most respectfully therefore apply that this matter is struck out. If the petitioner is still interested, it can be released, subject will come to the overriding power of this honorable tribunal. I'm most grateful.
Yes.
I find myself aligning with Mr. Ogunsoya. I recollect that at the last adjournment, I had to urge that the petitioner be given another opportunity to present his case, being a counsel. And that exactly is the reason why I find myself unable to urge contrary.
Well, we align very with my friends, cousins of his fathers. So I think this is the fourth time the petitioner deliberately action is for this global panel. I'm very much convinced that he is no longer interested. I'm very, very much convinced of that. And we are grateful. We are told that it is dismissed.
How do you feel? Can always be found.
This is the
This petition is coming up for the third time today, and at all sittings of the panel, the petitioner has not appeared. The application, therefore, for the petition to be struck out is reasonable, since the petitioner's absence indicates his lack of interest in prosecuting the petition. The petition in the circumstances is accordingly hereby struck out for want of diligent prosecution.
Petition LASD JP1 32/2020, Mrs. Anna Olugbodi, Federal Special Anti-Robbery School.
Any appearance, any legal appearance?
Profound respect. With profound respect to the Honorable Chairman and fellow members. Akim Fat, Akim is AKWM FADUN. Appear with me. Is Jackson Olabaju. A humble appearance for the petition.
Yes.
With profound respect, Lord, the same account for the first.
May I please acknowledge it and the honorable members. The same appearance for Lagos State. Respectfully, my lord, Jonathan Ogunsanya for the panel.
Due respect to the panel, IJOKK, appear for the NBA team.
Yes.
My lord, this very witness have closed Mount Adam the last agreement case. It is said the PW2 who is on the witness was.
I'm trying to get to the witness's name. Adéwùnmí Olúṣeun Olúgbòdì. Yes.
Witness.
Yes.
December 1, on the last adjournment. I subject to you that all that transpired when your wife an information that you are not at the scene. You can say you can agree with me or disagree.
Sir, can you come back?
I suggest to you that the issue was the incident that told that you got information, you were not at the scene.
I'm not at the hotel that day.
Yes, that's what I was doing.
Yes.
You don't have anything to show this panel. The caliber, billet, or whatsoever that was used allegedly on your wife.
I can't show because I was trying to rescue his life that particular day.
Yes.
Yes, don't really know the name. Any of the police officers.
I didn't know because I went to Abu. Is the one that told me that.
You are constant.
Yes.
And you don't going to put this matter to the Commissioner of Police, alleging that unknown policeman or policeman shot your wife. Did you report the matter to the Commissioner of Police?
I didn't report my first
No
report.
question to ask.
I didn't report.
Yes.
And the manager of the hotel, whom you alleged you got information from, was not even at the scene at the time the incident took place. Yes or no?
Is there? Who was around there?
Yes. Any re-examination?
No re-examination.
No.
I just want to point out as a final note that I believe it's a bit insensitive for the council to be asking for the bullets that shattered the leg of the petition.
You'll have the opportunity of filing an address.
No re-examination.
Very well. Thank you very much. Is that the petitioner's case?
But that will be the case for me.
Mr. Egbos,
Yes, sir. We don't have any decision.
you are not leading evidence. Please save that for your address. Registrar. We have 7 days, that's 14 days. Then when did they come back for adoption? From They have had 14 days. Upon the close of case of parties, the petitioner counsel shall file a written sum up of the petitioner's case, not more than 5 pages, to be served on the respondent. The respondent's sum up shall be filed upon service within another 7 days. Liberty is granted for the filing of a reply address. In the circumstance, adoption of sum ups or addresses of counsel is adjourned to 19 January 2020. 2021. Pardon me.
Petition number LASD JP1 2520 Blessing Omorobi, Israel, Nigerian Police. Blessing Omorobi.
Do you know if the matter is for mention and you already sworn? Petitioner, do you have a lawyer? Do you have a lawyer? Is your lawyer here?
No.
Do you know why I'm making that inquiry? Because this petition was filed by you, not by a legal practitioner. But the Nigerian Bar Association have their team here with us. They are willing to offer free legal service for petitioners who cannot afford or do not have lawyers. Would you want to take advantage of that service, or you want to conduct your case yourself? Pardon me? You want to, I said, the Nigerian Bar Association, they are here assisting the panel to take on matters where the petitioner has no lawyer or cannot afford to engage the services of a lawyer. Are you willing to take advantage of that free legal service, or you want to conduct your case yourself? Okay. Mr. Okeke,
Yes, madam.
are you willing to take on this petition?
Yes, of course.
So I will record you as appearing in the matter.
As the court pleases.
Any other appearance?
Yes, madam.
Good respect, madam. J.R. With me, sir, Reverend Eze Amaro and Joel Odonoso for the respondent.
Yes.
With respect, the same appearance for Lagos State.
Because I only appear for the panel. My name is Jonathan Okusanya.
Yes, Mr. Okeke.
Yes, sir. My lord, in view of the circumstances, may I humbly ask for a short adjournment so that I can look at the matter and know what we want to proceed.
Mr. Ebo Sereme. Do we have anything on the 5th of January? She only has about 3. It's busy already. It's not busy. We have time. This petition is fixed for mention today. Learned counsel for the petitioner, having applied for an adjournment to study his brief, the petition is hereby adjourned to 5th January 2021 for hearing.
Petition number LAS JP 136 Adesanya, the Nigerian police.
Are you the petitioner?
I am the owner.
Do you have a lawyer?
I'm putting 2 letters to the National Human Rights Commission, and I then they had a representative here. In fact, I told them I would come in here today. I don't know why I didn't see so they should know they want to stand for. The Abuja office says they should write a petition on behalf of the panel, but already I have written before the information from their headquarters came. So I just told them I've written and I gave them a copy of what I wrote here. I was in the office 3 weeks ago, and they said anytime they call upon me, I should let them know. I was called upon on Thursday, that was the day before yesterday, and I contacted immediately that I've been asked for something. So I want to hear from them before saying, I don't know, until I hear from them.
Well, I do appreciate your arrangement to be represented by counsel. But here before the panel now, we have the NBA team. They are offering free legal services to petitioners who cannot afford to engage services of a counsel or who have no counsel. Would you be willing to take advantage of this offer from the Nigerian Bar Association?
I wouldn't want to contravene my arrangement with the
You want to stick to the human rights?
I would have wanted to hear from them first, so that it doesn't appear as if one doesn't know what one is going to do.
Very well. You can't represent anybody. But he's not one of them. You can't represent him. Let's leave him to his problems. When he's ready, he will present his counsel. I've tried, I've had him. Yes, any other appearance in the matter?
Yes, sir. With all respect, J.R. With me, sir, A.Z. Emmanuel for the respondent, sir.
Olukayode Enitan, appears for Lagos State. Appearing with me are J. Tony and Y. Olabode. My Lord Jonathan Ogunsanya, my brother, my humble appearance before the panel.
We please the panel, sir. I'm IJ OKK. I'm here for the NBA Authority.
Registrar, give us a hearing date. How many do we have on that date? Nine. Very well. This petition is coming up before the panel for the first time today, and it is listed for mention. The parties / counsel haven't appeared today. The petition will be set down for hearing. The petition is hereby adjourned to 9 January 2021 for hearing. I hope you will arrange for your counsel before that date. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Petition number LAS JP1 29/2020. Olakunle Farid, Nigerian Police. Olakunle Farid.
Petitioner absent. Yes.
Respectfully, same appearance for Lagos. Lord Jonathan Ogunsanya, I humbly appeal to the panel.
We please the tribunal. I humbly appeal for the NBA IJ OKK.
Yes.
The matter is information. We will be praying that the matter be adjourned or hearing, definitely hearing. If adjourned so that which way from here, no extra applications.
Registrar, give me a date for mention. 15. Amen. This one is look. Now we have for information. This petition is coming up for the first time and for mention. The petitioner has not appeared before the panel. The application of learned counsel for the respondents for a hearing date is not realistic. The petitioner must appear first before a firm date is given for the hearing. The petition in the circumstances hereby adjourned to 15 January 2021 for mention. Yes, any legal representation?
Representing my noble lord and other members of the panel, I am Kabir Akinbori.
Yes.
Another friend, Sulaiman Salaudin, Kabir Adisa, and two missing appear with me for the petition.
Two missing?
Abe. Thank you, madam.
We profound respects to Mr. Chairman and
distinguished members of the panel, no Sir Watson Unhuango. Honorable Chairman, I thought the panel must have given judicial notice of the name. That is why I didn't bother to spell. Yes. UHU MWANGHO. Appearing with me for the respondent are J.O. Ebosereme. Oh, you just stepped out. I'm sorry, my lord. Emmanuel Eze. Julio Hodunu for the respondents.
That's for Lagos State. Appearing with me, J. Tomi and Y. Olabode. Jonathan Ogunsoya. I know somebody appear for the panel.
May please the court. I.J. Okeke for the NBA.
Before I announce my appearance, I see this opportunity to seek your gentle grace of pardon to address you in my sitting position, and I promise, my Lord, and honorable members of the panel, that I will not abuse it if my request is graciously granted.
Oh, definitely. Leave is granted.
My name is Debo Adeleke. I'm appearing for Chief Edward Obina. Appearing with me is my colleague. Thank God, Onyeguna. Thank God. The way we always praise God. Anytime we see people, thank God. Onyeguna. So I'm not geography name.
Yes.
For Chief Edward Obina.
Yes.
For the petitioner we proceed, I want to draw the attention of the panel to a very important issue that came on the fourth day appear before this panel. I actually raised the issue of service, and I told the panel asked how did I get to know about this matter. And I informed the panel it's through the pages of the national dailies and the social media. I want to say that the counsel for the panel who is here present have already been doing his case in the media when a petition is before the honorable panel. He has granted interview in Arise TV on this matter. It's like conducting a trial in the media when there is already a petition before this. To me, it's prejudicial. It's like preempting the panel. He has said a lot about my boss on the social media, the person of Deputy Commissioner of Police, Abba Kyari, on the social media, on Arise TV. If he's disproving it, I will ask for an adjournment and I will bring evidence before this panel.
Can I take you down, please?
Very well, my lord. I want to be taken down. Let me finish.
Which council?
The council for the petitioner.
Oh.
For the petitioner.
You said for the panel.
No.
I'm
very sorry. Probably it is.
We were taken aback.
It is. I said for the petitioner. I mean for the petitioner. It's not for panel. No. I'm sorry if I said that. I apologize. No. It's not the panel lawyer, no. The petitioner lawyer. If you don't have faith before this panel, then it shouldn't be here in the first place. You should go ahead and do his trial on the media. Then we'll respond. Mr. Chairman, so finally, I want to say that it is on that basis that we are registering our interest in this matter. Because we are not served with this process. It was what we saw on the social media that made us to put up appearance in this matter. If he's denying it, it's here. Then we're seeking for an adjournment so that we'll prove our case with documentary evidence. If need be, a video clip.
Yes, Mr. King.
Thank you.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman. Please permit me to equally align myself with the submission of my colleague. Actually, my client was a bit bemused and stupefied about all sorts of things, calling that he, a victim that has been swindled 97 million, now turned out to be called names and police agents. It's unheard of. And it is known that once a matter is before a court of competent jurisdiction, just like this tribunal, a lawyer or anybody should refrain his or herself from making any comment, otherwise it becomes subjugate. And in alliance with my colleague, if the petitioner is not or have no faith in this honorable panel, then we will have gone to somewhere else, rather to be disparaging the name of our client, a victim that was defrauded 97 million, calling him a police agent. Please, we want to be recorded. We are grateful for the judges, Lord.
Yes.
My Lord, the issue of denial does not arise. I know this panel is a public institution, and we file our petition here. Journalists have a way of getting their information. We cannot preclude them from having access to say. authorities also are bound that journalists also do not owe the duty or obligation to disclose their source of information. Otherwise, the practice of journalism will be in serious peril. Having said that, my Lord,
yes.
Upon getting their information that the petition of such was existing or slash is existing before this panel, we were contacted for our comments, which we actually did. However, if my learned friends otherwise believe that or the panel see it as inappropriate, we are saying before this honorable panel as responsible citizens that we shall abide by the rules of the panel to ensure that nothing is done to change the integrity of the panel or to bring it to disrepute of any kind. Having said that, my Lord, we thank my Lord for the indulgence and patience. Thank you.
Find out the views from your side. Find out the views of members on your side.
I ordinarily would not have intervened, but this being a professional ethics issue, I believe I owe an obligation to speak to the issue. Having submitted a petition before this panel, ought to have restrained himself from speaking to the press with regard to the subject of the petition. Notwithstanding the fact that the journalist could procure the petition whichever way. That having been said, and
my learned friend haven't given a commitment not to engage in such conduct going forward. I would urge that the panel overlook that infraction on the sole ground that hearing had not commenced. That's my humble view.
The Lord, if it will be permitted to make a clarification, it is a fact indubitably contested that once documents are filed before a court of competent jurisdiction, even a tribunal, it becomes a public document. There's no doubt about that. You all know that. And what our learned colleague is trying to say that it doesn't, I mean, questioning the way this, they got the documents, that is not, it's not relevant in this case. Having filed this before this honorable court, he went ahead to be discussing not only the issue but castigating, being judgmental, even in the process of granting the interview. Press can write anything, but once there is nobody to corroborate it, the public has the way of it. But the press owes the duty of care at the fourth estate of the realm to inform the public. But once whatever is written is not corroborated, then the public has a way of treating such. A lot of things are going on in social media. But once there is nothing to corroborate, nobody but a lawyer at the court of Nigerian bar. And I filed something before this honorable court, we continue to be making laws to the extent of even calling my client a victim, a fraudster, a victim that was defrauded of 97 million. So, with due respect to this honorable court, it's very unprofessional.
Well, quickly, I am not saying that it should do this or do that. I'm only saying it should be corrected and it should tender an apology. It shouldn't be calling somebody that have not been convicted. It should be dismissed from the police. That somebody of Abakiare in the high position, and it should be done. This thing should be done to him on the television, on the Arise TV. It casts a lot of aspersion on him. You don't even know him. You've not met him on one because of the story you heard from your clients, and you went on social media and started saying a lot of things. I mean, it's unprofessional. It's unheard of. It is. When matter is up to this, I mean, you've already preempted the panel before the media. Not that the media took the story. You went there yourself. You were even dancing. You were shaking hands. You were saying it as if you were present at the incident of the crime.
Yeah.
I don't want to be emotional in this matter, and because I am, because the person of Abakiari is my boss. I am, and I should be. And he's a man I have respected and I value so much, in a very high esteem. I am, and I should be.
The complaint now made by Learned Counsel for the petitioner and Chief Obina's counsel The complaint now made by Learned Counsel for the respondent and Chief Obina's counsel that the petitioner counsel, after filing this petition, went to grant press interviews where he freely discussed the subject matter of the petition and without verification from the other parties is a serious violation of the ethics of the legal profession. Once a matter is before a court or a panel, as in this case, it should not be discussed at the public domain. Learned Counsel for the petitioner has not denied the allegation, but has assured the panel that henceforth he will take no step to undermine the integrity of the panel. It is without any doubt that such conduct is most inappropriate, and the question if the panel sees it as such should not arise and from the submission of a senior counsel who is being castigated. The said conduct is most inappropriate. Learned Counsel Mr. Akingbolu is hereby cautioned to desist from taking such a step which will involve public judgment in a matter which is yet to be decided by the panel. We appreciate his undertaking that it will not happen now that the panel is looking into the petition. We expect an apology to the panel and parties affected by the inappropriate conduct. The panel will overlook the error and go on with its proceedings without interference from the press and any other mode of communication in the social media.
Thank you, Madam, for the ruling. We apologize for any inappropriateness.
We are very grateful, my Lord. We still have absolute confidence in this panel, and we want the trial to go on as expected. I'm grateful.
Today?
We are most obliged, Honorable Chairman.
Yes.
We are very grateful for the ruling.
Are you all ready for this opening of the evidence in this petition?
Honorable Chairman, we are much more ready. We are very ready. We are waiting for this matter for all ages. We are very ready. Very, very ready.
Yeah. My Lord, on the contrary, we are not ready. Because we never knew that there was a defense filed by Mr. Obi, although we didn't join in as a party of the same position we have joined, which we welcome. It was filed on the dated 25th of November 2020. But it was just, a copy was just given to us a while ago for Mr. Obi to date.
Is it Obi or Obina?
Mr. Obina's counsel. Yes, they are just giving it. We were prepared for the matter to proceed, but we were served two processes. A letter dated 17 December 2020 just served on us this morning. And the defense from Mr. Obi, dated 25th November 2020, just served on us. Oh my Lord. We have to go through them because there have been some allegations and we have some documents that we have to use in disproving some of the spurious allegations they are in. In that circumstance, my Lord, we shall be asking for a very short adjournment. When my Lord gives us Monday, we will be there. The shortest possible time. Even for the two processes we have opened our case for close.
Yes.
Honorable Chairman, surprised for the submission of the council to the petition. The matter for today is for them to open their case. Is for the petitioner to testify.
It's for mention the matter.
At the copies is for mention, and the panel just asked whether we are ready, and we said yes. And if at all the panel is going to grant us that indulgence for the petitioners to go on with this matter, is for him to open his case. Obina is not coming today. The document that is showing the panel, one of them is pre-action notice, and while the other one is related to this panel. The other one is for High Court. It's not for this panel. So if you want to go and prepare for that, you can go and prepare for it. Let's open the case of the petitioner. We can take an adjournment. We'll take a bite. If the panel is confident for the panel for this matter to go on, let's open this case. Then we can take a further date. We won't have in mind that this period is a festive period. Most of us are traveling for the Christmas festival. So if he's asking for money, it's a form of delayed taxes. He knows very well that people are traveling. Why would he asking for money 21st of December when the panel is sitting Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday? I'm still on my feet.
Don't shout like that, my friend.
I'm still on my feet. I'm not shouting. And don't use the word. When you get Grammy president, you use a lot of words. So don't use it. If you want to grant it, I would have granted that long time ago.
I apologize on behalf of my learning.
Well, we keep going through this at proceedings here, and I keep on reminding practitioners that this public hearing is being viewed all over the world. We don't want to give the wrong impression of the standard of advocacy practice in our country. So please be mindful of the fact that best practices are observed in this country. Don't let us be condemned by such attacks and shouting and bullying whilst you are before the panel. It would not speak well for Nigeria. I implore Council to be of good comportment. We need it, please. Yes.
I apologize, Mr. Chairman. I sincerely apologize.
Yes.
I promise such a conduct will not emanate from my side. I will end by saying that if the petitioner counsel is not ready well and is demanding for date, subject to the overriding convenience of the panel, I am not in a position to say the matter must go on, but it's subject to the overriding convenience of the panel. If the panel is of the view that a day should be given, that we should take a convenient date, but not on Monday. We are very grateful, sir.
What I was trying to say was that since he said he used the language that they want to take a bite, we know we can start. We are ready. It's no big deal. We'll take our government to send out that document. That's all. Okay, my lord.
Yes, you may present your witness. Registrar, swear the witness.
I'm a Muslim.
My lord, the wife is a co-witness. It's another witness in the matter. So, I don't know the procedure whether I should go outside or stay.
I, Majid Afiz Owolabi, I hereby cautioned that if I tell a lie in my testimony,
a party or a co-witness?
before this tribunal or willfully mislead this tribunal,
I don't see any rules about going out of
I am liable to be
court
prosecuted
anymore.
if found
Because
guilty.
everybody's read the petition, the cards are already on the table.
I will be seriously dealt with according to the law. I, Majid Afiz Owolabi, swear by Almighty Allah that the evidence I shall give before this tribunal to be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So help me Allah.
Yes.
Hello, thank you, madam. Please, for the records, tell this honorable court your names, your occupation.
My name's Majid Afiz Owolabi. I am a real estate and oilage. I'm into real estate and oilage.
Yes.
Where do you live?
Currently, I live at number 2 Adizat Mohammed Street, Igbetu, Awoyaya.
Talk gently. My lord should be asking you.
I didn't get that with the address.
I said currently I live at number 2 Adizat Mohammed Street, Igbetu, Awoyaya.
So like you have to talk like a nursery pupil.
Oh.
So that my lord can record you and I can also get you. Please, you submit a petition before this honorable panel on 22nd October 2020. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
If you see a copy, can you recognize it?
Yes, sir.
My lord, I don't know whether we tender the tribunal's copy or our own copy. I think the tribunal's one might be more.
We have it. Why do you want to put it in evidence?
As the court pleases. Can you cast your mind back to 18th October 2014?
18th October.
And tell the court what happened.
18th October 2014. I was at my apartment at number house 2, Prince Obi, Victory Estate, Thomas Aja.
You need to come again with the address. Your apartment at
Prince Obi, Close, Victory Estate, Thomas Aja.
So what happened?
I was in my apartment around 8 to 9 p.m. in my sitting room with my 2-year-old son and my in-law.
Yes.
And my mother-in-law watching the TV.
Yeah.
My wife was in the kitchen cooking.
Yes.
Then she was 5 months pregnant.
Yeah.
Yes. I heard a big bang on my door. Boo, boo, boo. Open this door. Or I bring down the door.
Yes.
I was afraid, as if it was armed robber. Before I could summon courage to get the door, they pulled down my door. I saw 4 armed men. On mufti. Without no explanation.
Yes.
They beat me to the ground. They boot me. They do all sorts of things to me. My wife was shocked. What happened? What happened? They slapped her. On countless times.
Yes.
They chained my legs on the floor there. And they handcuffed my both hands behind. In the process of,
What do you mean by they handcuffed you behind?
as in like this. In the process of doing that, one of the inspector or cobra that came in pulled my wedding ring from my finger.
One of the men.
One of the men.
and collected my Tissot wristwatch on my table.
Your what?
Tissot wristwatch.
It's called tissue.
It's a brand of
Yes.
I still have the evidence of those Tissot wristwatch at home, which I can still bring along. That's the casing.
Yes.
They collected my wife's 2 wedding ring and also they pulled it off her finger with several slaps.
Yes.
And ordered her to bring a poly bag. With fear, she ran inside her. She brought out the bag.
Yeah.
They went to my room, approached my cupboard.
Yes.
They took the sum of 280,000 naira and ransacked.
Yes.
All aspects of my house. Document they collected from me. I might not be able to list them, but it's written on the petition. They collected my Zenith personal current account checkbook, my Zenith Bank ATM, my corporate account, Diamond Bank, M. Martin Concept. They collected the checkbook.
What bank is that?
Diamond Bank. It's a corporate account, M. Martin Concept.
Yes.
They collected 4 landed properties, 2
Landed
shop,
properties?
4 landed documents, sorry.
Yes.
2 shops documents, my ID card, my car document, and my car key.
What is the mode of the car?
The car is a 2008 Honda Accord, black in color.
And what did they do to the car?
During the process, they marched me down to the car. They opened the car. They as well ransacked the car.
Yes.
And collected the sum of 50,000 naira from my car.